Okay, really fast, I wanted to cover the Artist Paint Pop-Up. We got it working pretty well, and I just wanted to see if it would make everybody's use of the Artist Paint tools work better. Working with 277, I'm going to show you the user preferences, the main add-ons you want to have. On import-export, import images as planes. It's already available there. You don't have to download it, just turn it on and press Save User Settings. Then the ones that you really need to have for this are Texture Paint Plus from the link that I give you. Also the Artist Paint Panel and Artist Paint Pop-Up are the ones that I'll have the links in the video description as well. Another one that you can take advantage of is using the Pie Menus Official. For myself, I like the Pie Menus because I can choose multiple options instead of just tab with one or whatever. And the theme right now, this theme is the R theme. Well, I thought it was. Now it is. And here you go. We are working from what I call a paint and plane, which is just the default, and we press F5 to push the toolbar to the side, drag it out a little bit, and save that as a scheme and look at it from up on top. So that's it. The timeline I keep open now because I've gotten to where I like using the animated brushes and the ability to shift textures and such from the timeline, which I've already got a video on that. And here we've got the Artist Paint tools. Let's go ahead and just turn that on. We'll import a canvas, and I'm going to go to Desktop. Press this little icon here, and you can get to Previews. I'm going to show you a picture I was working on before. Now, you don't see it at the moment because we're still in object mode, and it's still in solid view. But by pressing this camera button, it will actually switch to Texture Paint, go to the view of the camera that it adds, match the camera to the pixels, and just to show you that, let me go ahead and change this to something crazy like 20 by 20. We'll see this update to the size of the image. Pressing this, 1920 by 1080, which is what I painted it at. Texture Paint and Texture Draw mode. Alright, so we've already covered most of this over here on the Artist Paint tools, so I'm not going to cover that. What I would like to show is that if you control arrow up and T to turn the toolbar off, we now have a full view of our painting, and this is working really good. But then we get to where we're working here, painting and stuff. We really want to work on something cool, but we don't know. We have to go back to get our color, or go back to get a rotation, or go back to do a mask. No, not really. First, about that color thing. Press the W key with a Texture Paint Plus. This is the Spiro 4D version. It has all these curve options, spacing. You have the ability to add a new palette and choose a color, press plus, choose a color, press plus, choose a color, press plus. There we've got some colors. Now we can change in this palette. We have not gone back to the full view with the toolbar. We're only working with this floating tool. And we can go to the other tools, the other kinds of brushes, but for right now we're on this one. Okay, so I'm going to just change this to color so I can do some small changes. As we start, we press out and it turns off, and then we can start working. I want to cover again on your brush. F changes the size. Shift F changes your value or strength. Control F will rotate your texture if you have one applied as a brush. Okay, now imagine that we want to choose our slot. Shift W and bring up a slot pop-up. I warn you, don't add a texture paint slot from here. You'll actually crash Blender. It's not supported yet, but it will be. But if you've already gone through the process of adding and saving all your image slots, then you can go back and forth changing your mix modes and painting on different layers basically. And from here, if you've actually originally saved your images to your hard disk or to your flash drive or whatever you're working on, Save All Images will overwrite all of them at once. Hit OK, you can turn that back off. Now, the main one I was wanting to show you, Alt W, will bring up the Artist Paint Popup. This is like a mini version that Spiro made of the panel. You'll notice that there's object tools here. Up on the right, there's a choose between multi-texture and GLSL for shading, depending on what you're working with. Use Stencil Mask, that's also an option already there. This is a set Symmetry Origin, which is actually kind of like setting up where your symmetry is going to line up. The way that one works though is you have to select the camera, place your cursor, turn that on, but you also in your toolbar, unfortunately, you still have to turn on which axis you're going to add or work from. So eventually I'm hoping we'll be able to add the axes here underneath so that that will be totally, you don't not have to go anywhere. Canvas flip horizontal, vertical, rotations, constraint rotations, and that's pretty much it. So we've already got a lot of tools available and then still stay inside the general area of our painting. That's pretty much it. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them in the bottom of the comments of the video, and I can respond back with anything that I can help you with. Any ideas on any other topics about Blender Paint, please fire away. We'll see what we can do. Alright, talk to you later. Thanks.